Suit up for the biggest crossover ever.
We've got your backs!
Crisis on Infinite Earths, the CW's crossover event begins Sunday, December 8th. Presented by Boost Mobile, the switch that gives you more.
All right, tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock, tunnels. Bring your whole fancy team.
Why should we do that?
Because I know how to save Barry Allen.
You must be the Monitor.
How do you know?
Because no human would actually wear something so ridiculous.
You ache for the world you lost, and I possess the power to restore it.
You can bring back my Earth.
The recovery of your universe will require a single task.
What kind of task?
You must betray Oliver Queen.
Welcome back, everyone. It's Charlie. This is going to be my Crisis on Infinite Earths teaser video. They dropped the first look. There's a whole bunch of Easter eggs in here. I'll explain what's going on and why some of these villains are showing up in these. So we'll do a new round of that flash ring giveaway. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and leave your favorite moment from the teaser on the video. There's a couple scenes from the last episodes teasing Crisis stuff, so I added that to this. I'll talk about those in a second, but first we'll talk about the Crisis footage. So first you see a version of the Monitor on another world that looks like the Monitor, but he doesn't have the mutton chops, so either it's a younger version of the Monitor earlier in the timeline, or it's someone like the Anti-Monitor, because during the original comic book Crisis, there was only one Monitor for the entire multiverse, the positive matter multiverse, and then one Anti-Monitor for the antimatter universe. So what might be happening here is they just used the Wave Rider to travel back in time to a different period and talk to him, and that's why he doesn't have the mutton chops. Remember, the Legends will be participating and be a huge part of the crossover this year, for those of you that wondered whether or not they were going to be around, because they skipped last year. They even made a joke about that during last season of Legends. We should have participated in the crossover. You might notice some interesting additions to the group shot here, though. From left to right, we have Martian Manhunter. About time he had a bigger role in the crossover. He is one of the most powerful characters that they have in the Arrowverse, and they barely ever use him during the team-ups. Sarah is standing here. Like I said, Legends going to be a big part of the crossover again. This year, the first episode of Legends' new season is actually going to be the crossover, but that's not happening till January. So I'll explain the schedule because there's going to be 2 parts to the crossover, 3 episodes in December, and then they go on break for a couple weeks. Then they come back at the end of January and they have the last 2 episodes. It's Arrow, then Legends of Tomorrow is pulling up the anchor. But that will be the first episode of their brand new season, and they're taking Arrow's time slot after Arrow's series finale, which actually I think is a little bit after the crossover. Then you have Barry and Kara, both in their brand new suits. They both got brand new gear this year, nice and shiny. Barry got the chin back, but it's also a top-to-bottom redesign with completely new material that's way more breathable in real life, way more comfortable for Grant Gustin to walk around in, and easier to get in and out of when he needs to. But they also gave him way more comic book accurate earpieces that are flared out just a little bit bigger than the ones he's had in the past. Biggest difference in Supergirl's suit is that she ditched the skirt and got the pants, so her costume looks much more like Earth 38, Superman's costume. Supergirl has worn pants in the comics before, but I don't remember what their reason for doing that on the TV show is. Her new costume works a lot like Tony Stark's Avengers Endgame and Avengers Infinity War costumes with the nanobots forming the suit around him at will, or say like Black Panther's vibranium suit. She doesn't have to step into the pants one leg at a time like Stephen Amell when he's putting on his Arrow pants for the costume. She just wills it to form around her when she needs it. Quick reminder, because they haven't done a scene in a while, but Barry is still using the flash ring. He's been using it since the beginning of season 5, but it costs a lot of money to do the special effects for that, so that's why you don't see them doing a version of this scene every single time he puts the suit on. Then moving down the line, really big addition to the team, Lex Luthor from Earth 38, played by John Cryer. If you didn't watch Supergirl last season, he actually played Lenny Luthor during Superman 4, The Quest for Peace, way back when. He was a character they created for the movie just to be Lex Luthor's punk rock nephew. They've joked about it a few times on the show, but they had Supergirl kill him at the end of last season, and in a post-credit scene during the finale, the Monitor shows up and resurrects him, saying that he has some special purpose in the fight to come. The people that the Monitor is collecting, he's calling Paragons, the special people that will defend the multiverse against the Anti-Monitor. It's sort of like Goku and the Universe 7 team during Dragon Ball Super's Universe Survival Saga. You get a bunch of your friends together to win a battle for the fate of the universe, some of them villains. So like Lex Luthor, for instance, would be their Frieza, the person who's gonna double-cross them the first chance he gets, but will help them out along the way. If you are a big comic book Crisis fan, you will remember though that Lex Luthor was an important character during that, but it was actually an alternate universe version called Alexander Luthor from Earth 3. When that crisis broke out, he was a baby, they aged him rapidly to adulthood and helped him gain special powers over antimatter. The Monitor wound up dying, he took his place as team leader for all the heroes as they faced the Anti-Monitor. So he wound up being a really important but really good character during that event. Later, he wound up double-crossing them during Infinite Crisis and became the villain of that event. Very Lex Luthor twist, you pretend to help people out, but then you ultimately double-cross them. Standing next to him, you'll notice Osric Chow from Supernatural. He's playing the Ryan Choi Adam, starting this season on Legends of Tomorrow, and he'll debut during the crossover. He's also the person you may remember from last season of The Flash that made Barry's Flash rings, but in the future, so he'll continue to be important to the other characters on the other TV shows, making technology for them. The whole reason they're adding him is because Brandon Routh, who normally plays Ray Palmer Adam, is leaving Legends of Tomorrow this season, so they need a replacement to take the mantle, and Ryan Choi was just the next version of the Atom to take the mantle in the comics, so it makes sense that you would introduce him at some point. Brandon Routh is playing both Kingdom Come Superman during the crossover and Ray Palmer Adam, so you've seen both pictures of them during different scenes. It makes sense that there would be a moment with them acknowledging that they both look very much alike, like, wow, you're a version of Superman, but somehow you're different, you're Clark Kent from Krypton, and I'm a normal human from planet Earth, yet somehow we have the exact same face. Even though we're calling him Kingdom Come Superman because that's the costume that he's wearing from the comics, he's playing a version of his Superman from Superman Returns. So because that was a sequel movie to Superman 2 with Richard Donner and Christopher Reeve, it's sort of implying that Christopher Reeve's Superman eventually became Kingdom Come Superman. Here's some fan art of what that would look like had Christopher Reeve survived to present day. Early speculation too, they might do a version of Supergirl's death from comic book Crisis, but maybe they'll kill off Kingdom Come Superman and he'll be the one that they're holding here, sacrificing himself for the group. Then you have Batwoman, pretty self-explanatory. Then you have the first scene of Black Lightning during the crossover that we've seen, just in the middle of a fight. Of course he's going to participate in the Wave Rider scenes, but it's really hard to tell what else he'll be doing. So whatever he's doing, it sounds like it's going to be fun, but he won't be around for every single episode of the crossover. Then the scene of Batwoman, Oliver, and Mia walking through the rubble in the middle of some big fight that they're having. We get the brand new Crisis on Infinite Earths intro logo. They always make a custom one for each of the different crossovers year to year, but the letters in the footage within them don't correspond to the actual episode order. So quick reminder, crossover starts Sunday, December 8th with Supergirl episode 9, Batwoman is episode 2, The Flash is episode 3, then they go on break for a couple weeks and come back for the second half. Yes, I have heard the rumor about Tom Welling's Superman from Smallville only being in a very few short scenes during the crossover. I'm assuming it's during the first Supergirl episode since most Superman-related things happen on Supergirl, and because this scene takes place with Earth 38 Superman and his Lois Lane on the Kent farm. It's just a question of which Kent farm. Are they going to be on Smallville's Earth, or are they going to be on Earth 38 when this is happening? The other really big news, literal and metaphorical big news, is that they've cast the Spectre character from the comics, but it's unclear what his role is going to be during the TV crossover. He had a big role during comic book Crisis, but I don't know if they're going to do the same thing with him during the TV show. And even though we haven't seen any footage of Reverse Flash recently, Reverse Flash will also be a big part of the crossover too. But because Tom Cavanaugh is playing a couple different characters, it's hard to say which episodes he's going to be in.
See you in our next crisis.
But everybody, let me know in the comments, what are you most excited about? If you have any big questions, there'll be more bigger trailers with more Crisis footage dropping in the next couple of weeks. There is no episode of The Flash this week. What's happening tomorrow, if you didn't see, Disney Plus is launching, and the first episode of The Mandalorian. I'll be doing a video for that, so that'll be my Tuesday video, and a brand new Rick and Morty Episode 2 trailer. As long as you have alerts enabled for my channel, you'll see those videos when I post them. Everybody click here for my Rick and Morty Season 4 Episode 1 video, and click here for my last big Flash Crisis on Infinite Earths video. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody stay awesome. I'll see you guys tonight.